Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Monday. Hope all of you having a great start to your week. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, I guess it's more than fair to say that college football season is right around the corner officially because you got players getting arrested. You now have, what we're about to talk about, crazy rumors coming out. And more importantly, you have Matt B. Great news videos being released. This is how you know the season is fastly approaching because for the majority of the offseason, we have nothing to talk about. I've waited a little bit to make this video. I've been making some phone calls, sending some texts, just because of how outlandish these rumors are. It appears to seem that Greg McElroy is the first to start this, and Wynn has caught the fire, and you know what happens after that. Everyone's talking about it. It's been all over social media. As you can see right here, Nick Saban, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the greatest college football coach of all time, and it's not even close. He is trending on Twitter. In the recent video, we talked about Quinshon Judkins getting arrested. We may have an update on that tomorrow, so just be on the lookout. And in that video, we was reading off some of the comments. This one's from Tyler Diener, calling me Mart the Fart. For those of you that are new to our channel, we have a strike system. 3 strikes, you're banned. I already gave him 1 for that. But here's the kicker, right? He had the nerve on that video, in which I called him out on, to write this comment. The same one, he copy and pasted it. Martha Fart, can you do a documentary video on Noah Spence? As I was reading that, I asked myself this question. Why do I even put up with this? Stop calling me that! I feel like I'm more than a reasonable guy. I could have just banned you after the first one, but I decided to give you another chance, and then you just push my limits. In life, this is a great example of why you can't be too nice to some people because they are going to test your limits. As much as I hate to say this, Mr. Tyler Diener, that's 2 strikes. I'm a big freedom of speech guy, but you know what happens if you get 1 more. And then this guy says, hey, Jar Jar Binks. So now I'm Jar Jar Binks. Hey, Marquavius. So now my name has went from Jarquavius to Marquavius. All right, this is the last comment I'm reading. Day 3 of asking for Matt's OF. I don't know what our comment section has turned into, but there's one thing for sure. It doesn't lack excitement or jokes. You don't know what you're going to see when you go to a Matt B. Great comment section. I'm telling you. Now, getting out the way, my apologies for reading off some of those comments longer than I wanted to. Get carried away. You get the point. We're going to talk about these Nick Saban rumors. Earlier this morning, I was sent this on Twitter. This was the first I saw of it. It was around 10 a.m. Report. Greg McElroy said a person in the know believes Nick Saban will return to coaching. And I quote, if it wasn't someone notable, this is Greg saying this, I would never say a word. When I first read that, immediate reaction, I said, this is a load of horse crap. Why did I even waste my time reading this? It's not going to happen. You'd have to be really involved with Alabama to know this as well. Alabama fans, number one, they don't like Greg McElroy because he tries to be too unbiased at his job to the point where he actually hates on Alabama more than he gives them credit. I share that with you to say this. Most people that are heavily involved with the Crimson Tide, they don't really, and what's the best way to say this? I don't want to say they don't respect Greg McElroy, but it's more so if they just don't care for him. For me, I don't mind Greg McElroy, but what did pique my interest is the fact that he would even say this. Not too long ago, the goober himself, Lane Kiffin, was asked about this. Obviously, I'm kind of joking. I like me some Lane Kiffin. And he said, I wouldn't be surprised. I kind of thought it would happen after 1 year. Continuing along, he's so sharp still, I almost feel like it's a waste that he's not. And I agree with the second part of that statement. I never for once thought after Saban retired from Alabama, he's going to come back to the game. This isn't a Tom Brady situation. You have to understand something, guys, before you even form an opinion on all this. Tom Brady, 40s. That makes sense with him coming back. And I know it's different. We're talking about one guy playing, whereas one guy's coaching. But Nick Saban, have you seen him recently? He looks good for his age, but now he actually looks his age. When he was at Alabama, he didn't look like he was in his 70s. He looked like he was in his late 50s, early 60s. But the last couple years at Alabama, you could see that stress was really, and I mean really getting to him. And that old age, it finally caught up. That year, Alabama made it to the semifinals with Milroe as the quarterback. That was the most stress I've seen Nick Saban under in a long, and I mean a long time. Mentally, you could see it. It was clear and evident. Saban was checked down, and that doesn't even take into account the physical toll coaching takes on you when you're flying to all these recruiting visits and stuff like that. If you gotta ask me, and this is just my reaction to the news, I don't think Saban has any juice left in the tank. I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? That's my 2 cents on that. Getting that out the way, let's talk about what if Saban, he's been telling people like McElroy and whoever else, you know what, I've been thinking about getting into coaching. This year off, it really bored me, and I want to get back into it. I'm just so competitive. I can't stand sitting around and commentating about the games. I want to be coaching the games. I've told you guys this before. I am the most competitive person you will ever run across in this life. I don't care what we're doing. I don't care if we're playing catch in the backyard. I don't care if we're playing golf. I don't care if it's water polo, ping pong, table tennis. It can be anything. We can be eating a Uncrustable grape. It's got to be grape, by the way. It can't be strawberry. Great peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I want to beat you. I want to eat that sandwich before you. There's some people in this life that have that fire burning inside them. So from that aspect, I relate to Nick Saban, and I could imagine not competing, not just every now and then, but in my everyday routine in life. With that being said, hypothetically speaking, let's say Saban, he feels the same way. He wants to get back into it. That now brings us to the next question. Where in the world would he coach? Because I've seen some people saying on Twitter, well, who would hire him? Alabama's got Kalen DeBoer. LSU's got Brian Kelly. Ole Miss has Lane Kiffin. Georgia, they have Kirby Smart. Listen up, buddy. All Nick Saban has to do, let's say he wants to go back to Alabama, he calls the AD and it's a done deal. Look, I'm sorry, Kalen DeBoer. We're talking about the greatest of all time. If Saban wants to be a head coach anywhere, he's going to be the head coach. I saw some people saying, and I think this would be really cool to watch, what if he goes to West Virginia? For those who don't know, that's where he's from. Who's the head coach there? Isn't it Rich Rodriguez? I believe it is. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. You're getting the boot. Nick Saban, he gets first priority. It is what it is. If Nick Saban called LSU and was like, hey, I know I left y'all before, but I want to come back, Brian Kelly, he's getting the boot. The only place I think they wouldn't boot their head coach would probably be Georgia, because Kirby Smart is like a mini Nick Saban. He's also in his prime. Saban, he doesn't have that much longer left if he wants to come back at all, which I don't think is going to happen, but we're playing hypotheticals here. I know Ohio State fans are going to say, well, Matt, what about Ryan Day? Look, Ryan Day's a chump. You know it, I know it. He's from the chum bucket, okay? He got one Mickey Mouse championship because he had the most talented team. Ryan Day, most overrated head coach of all time. Ohio State fans, shut your mouth in the comment section. Y'all are trashing this guy after he lost to Michigan. After you won the championship, you hop back on that side of the fence. We're like, oh, no, I love Ryan Day, but for the longest, you're saying you hate Ryan Day. You know I'm right. You take Saban over Ryan Day every day of the week. Saban's the best. He gets to go wherever he wants. As a Bama fan myself, I'll tell you this. If he want to come back to Alabama, I'd tell Kalen DeBoer to kick rocks. It's nothing against DeBoer. It's just what we're talking about. Greatest of all time. One guy, Saban, has a statue outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Kevin DeBoer does not. Here's one thing we need to bring up as well. I have also seen some people saying, well, Greg McElroy in the statement didn't say college coaching. He just said return to coaching. This makes way more sense to me. The college route doesn't make any sense. If he does return, NFL, I think there's a better probability of that. Let's talk about it. Nick Saban is one of the most competitive people walking on this planet Earth. Well, where did he not really thrive at? Where did he not succeed at? In the NFL. I guarantee you that keeps him up at night. If he returns back to college football, he'd only be hurting his resume and hurting his status because he's already the GOAT and he has nothing left to prove. Where does he have something to prove? The NFL. And with Nick Saban, and he was saying this at Alabama, hating what college football has turned into, there's no regulation, there's no nothing really, you can pay all these players a transfer portal, he hates it. It makes total sense. NFL over college. Let me give you a percentage, though. 0 to 100. I think Nick Saban returns to coaching, period, whether that's college or NFL. I'll go 1%. I'll give you a chance. Kind of like in the Dumb and Dumber movie. So you're saying there's a chance. I know that was cringy, but you get the point. Yes, very, very schmeeny-weeny, small chance. 0 to 100 on college, I'll say 1%. 0 to 100 NFL. I'll give that 2%. 2%, as we know, is not likely, but I think it's more likely than him returning to college because the college game is whack. It's just NFL JV. It's NFL, I'm not going to call it 2.0. Well, the JV is the best analogy. You get the point. What's the phrase I'm looking for here? We are here it is, the minor league of the NFL. Before we end out this video, let me answer this question because I know some people are going to be asking it. Well, Matt, Greg McElroy is a reputable source. He's a reliable one. Why would he just make this up? I don't know. I don't know why people do half the things they do on this earth. That's the best answer I can give you. You got to understand, guys, we're talking about social media. People are fighting for clicks and views all day, every day. It's what they do. I will say the one rebuttal you could have for McElroy is he's not independent. He's signed with ESPN, so He really doesn't need clicks and views. I don't know why he'd come out and say it. That is all we know. I did think this was worthy of a video, and I'm extremely curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But